everyone and welcome back to this week's video. I've got something very exciting to share with you. For those of you who love the wonderful artist dolls of the past editions, I have a very exciting collection that just arrived with us here at Mary Shortle's, and they will be going on our website. Now bearing in mind we only have one of each of these magnificent pieces. This collection that I am showing today is from the wonderful Zwergnase collection, and these are the masterpieces of the brainchild Nicole Marszalek Menzer. For those of you who are not familiar with her work, this company started in 1994, and Nicole, having an art background, her vision and dream was always to own and produce her own dolls and have her own company. As a younger lady, she worked for one of the famous doll companies in East Germany and decided through that she really one day would love to own her own company. And that happened very quickly with the fall of the Iron Curtain. It was then her chance to express herself through the art of dolls. So I'm now going to show you some of the wonderful ones that have arrived here too. I'm going to choose each doll and then we're going to have a look at them a little bit closer. So this one here, this is absolutely adorable. Now these dolls are retired pieces, so bearing in mind they have been beautifully looked after. They're in mint condition and they do have their certificate of authenticity. Some of the editions are very rare and very small editions. This one here is Gemma, and she is just 95 pieces and was produced in 2008. You can see from the sculpt itself, it's absolutely brimming with character and attitude. And through these sculpts, the expressions of happiness, sadness, joy, laughter are all created in a magnificent way. They're completely in proportion, the dream of having a doll that was made in proportion too, but it's the detail and the features, and also all these dolls are completely produced under the same roof, even down to the clothing. Look at this, the finest quality. So Gemma here is looking very quizzical. She is roughly probably around 18 inches at a guess, and even with the fine leather shoes, the very delicate cotton, the Tana lawns, the Hessian type fabrics, the human hair wigs, and of course the hand-blown glass eyes. Every single doll is completely hand painted and created with so much love. So these dolls are all just one-off. That's all we have, just one of each. So it is on a first come first served basis. If you're a fan of these dolls or are completely new to this collection, they're certainly worth looking at more in depth. But this is Gemma and she's absolutely adorable. Check out that cute face there. Now for some of the other ones, they do come in different sizes. There's a very vast range of Zwergnase collection ranging right back to 1994. This beauty here, I love this one. This is Laurentijn, and she was produced, let me just check for you, in 2007, and she's another 95 piece edition. Loving this strawberry blonde real hair. So with the hair, you can completely style the hair. It's quite safe to do. And again, look at the style, the design. And the design and the idea behind the clothing on these dolls was a casual, fun-loving idea, trendy, up-to-the-minute children who were just free to roam and play and enjoy themselves. And I think that also comes through in the clothing, but definitely in the expressions too. Look at her. She's a little smug one, isn't she? But again, everyone is completely unique in the sculpt, and I think that's what makes this collection so, so precious. Can't wait to show you more that we have here to share with you. Absolutely loving this rascal here. This is Annemor, and she is a 250 piece edition. She's coming in again roughly around 18 inches. But what a fabulous face. She looks real, doesn't she? I was having so much fun the other day taking some pictures of these beauties outside in the garden, and you couldn't tell it wasn't a real child on the photo. I think they are so detailed that on camera they just capture that realism and the expression. But even the profile in the sculpt, absolutely breathtaking. So she's also a little cheeky monkey. Now this one is again completely different expression. Look at that. There's no two that are alike. There's so much dedication and passion goes into creating these as an artist and a sculptor. They're absolutely, they're just magnificent, aren't they? I remember it was around 94 or 95 when I was at the Nuremberg toy show, and I believe Nicole and her partner were exhibiting probably for the first time there, and we were walking along, my mother and I, and it was at a time where there was a lot of very elaborate dolls and very sort of pretty dolls, say of Ute Kasseleb or Hildegard Gunsel, or the dolls of Annette Himstedt were very powerful at that time. And I tripped across this booth where this artist was standing, and I'm sure it was probably right back in the early days. And they sort of took my breath away because they were so unusual and so different to what we were used to seeing and purchasing for our store. But I love this style, absolutely. My mother at the time was a little bit like, oh gosh, they're very different. I'm not sure if they would be popular, or if the collectors would like that style, because they were so used to seeing the other style. And I said, no, these are characters, they're absolutely magnificent. I'm loving this sort of very casual style, and just as children would be. You know, you'd see a little child like this on the street or in the playground. And I said, I think they would be really great. So I remember placing our very first orders, and I suppose the company at that time was very small, and the orders were quite slow to come through. And then when we popped them into the store, they did have a great reaction. Some people were like, oh, I'm not sure. Some have teeth, some are smiling. They look very detailed. But yes, they really did become so popular, and are today. I mean, she still produces the most magnificent collections today. Naturally, the price has increased quite a bit, but for those of you who do collect her work, you'll know that she's even producing now some of the ball jointed dolls, which are very interesting pieces. So moving with the fashions and the trends as well of what the collectors are wanting. But for me, I love the older original pieces. I think the early days of some of the companies just hold that special place in my heart, and I really feel that for me these are some of the best pieces that were ever produced. So check out this girl too. She is a 250 piece edition, and she's called Trinje. But gosh, yeah, absolutely lovely. Again, just perfect. Now, if you're liking dolls, I love dolls that sometimes look a little bit older in their expression. So probably children that representing maybe 7 or 8 year old children. And I have to say, this one has really captured me. I think she's beautiful. She is called Kajsa, and she's just a 95 piece edition from 2006. But again, loving this strawberry blonde hair, and the fabrics and the bag and the shoes or the boots, just so well thought out and well detailed. But I love the expression. Can you see there how the eyes, all the expression on this doll for me is through the eyes, and they always say that the eyes are the window of the soul, and I think for her, she's got a lot going on in her head. But what a beautiful sculpt. And again, aren't they different when you put them together? They are so different. So I can see why the collectors of this brand always have quite a few in a group, as they just really complement each other and become such a powerful impact when they are all displayed as a little group. but my goodness, just beautiful. Let's see who else has arrived here. I'm really excited about this collection coming to store. I do hope it lasts a little bit longer than a day, as we did have a delivery last week and I popped a couple of pictures on Facebook, and sadly I never even got them listed on the website because within one day the whole collection sold out literally in the store. So I was a bit disappointed I couldn't share that with you, but for the collector who has those dolls now, I'm sure is getting a lot of pleasure from owning them. So I wanted to make sure I could showcase these ones before they got snapped up here, but they will be available also on the website. I'm going to show you some more now. Let's see who else, and see if we can pick a favourite. I thought it'd be nice to showcase this one as we're both in matching red today. This is Annemarei, another 250 piece edition. Again, a slightly older expression on her, but again, completely different detail facially. Isn't that beautiful? With the long brunette, again, the real hair, the glass eyes, the beautiful painted detail. Loving the smile on this one. It's not a full smile, she's just sort of she's thinking, isn't she? And something's really tickling her, and she's sort of, oh gosh, yes, very, very beautiful. She's a little bit larger, this one, probably coming in, I would say probably about 22 inches, so she's quite a bit larger piece. But I really like her, probably looking like a child of around 8 years of age. So again, looking that little bit older child, but beautiful again with these magnificent like suede boots. There is, the quality of these dolls is just unbelievable. Now another one that I'm really taken with is this girl. Now for those of you who don't like teeth on dolls, I think with this range it really works because it suits the style and the character that has been created by the vision of this artist in portraying these children in very, very real expressions, capturing them absolutely perfectly. But isn't that lovely? That's Emilia, and again she's probably coming in just over 20 inches. She's got the very, very long dark hair that's quite bohemian, but I have to say I love this one. I think she's really beautiful. I was reading a magnificent article yesterday on the history of this company and the artist, and doing some fact finding, and it's amazing, isn't it, that when somebody is so passionate and with a vision of what they want to achieve. I was reading a little piece that when Nicole starts her sculpts, no matter how long it takes her or what time of day or into the night, the sculpt has to be completely finished in one go. So every detail and the thought process is all put into the sculpt, because sometimes as an artist, if you do leave it and go back to it the next day, it's sort of lost. You can't always pick up from where you left off. So I thought that was really interesting that these were all created as the picture was there in her head, and I suppose the little characters were evolving from the clay as she was sculpting. But oh yeah, love this one. So this is Emilia. Now, I have to say, this one here, I am totally in love with, and I just love her. She's beautiful. She's quite a large piece, so she's well over 25 inches. I haven't measured her exactly yet, and she is called Lillilu, and there's just 75 pieces of her produced in 2011, so she is quite a rare piece. She's a small edition. Now bearing in mind these editions are worldwide, so it's not 50 pieces per country, it is a worldwide edition. But I think it's the hair and the big eyes and the whole character of this one. And I have to say, oh gosh, the print on this dress or blouse under here is even taken through to the ribbon that's been popped through onto the boots, and also even the beads have been made of the similar style fabric. So the thought and the detail, it just really makes it the perfect package. Sometimes you can have a beautiful doll and the clothes could be very disappointing, or the other way around where the doll is quite poor and the clothes are so breathtaking that it's the clothes that as a collector you're attracted to. With this collection, it is a complete package, from the sculpt, the painting, the quality of the supplies, the dressing, the fabrics, absolutely everything about these dolls is top quality. They're also signed and numbered on the body too, so they are all officially Zwergnase dolls. But gosh, loving this one very much. I'm wondering which one will be chosen and adopted first from this new collection. This so far would be my choice. She's absolutely gorgeous. So this one I think is very unusual. She has the most amazing character face. Can you see? She looks like she's blowing a kiss. And the dandelions that she's holding are a bit of a giveaway, aren't they? And I remember going for walks as a child, and one of my favourite things was to pick the dandelions and blow them into the air and sometimes make a wish. So this one, she's totally captured that, where she's just got that perfect expression and that fleeting glance, and just, it's just perfect, isn't it? How do you create something as magnificent as that? It really does work so well, but not being over sculpted so it looks quite fake. It really is very natural. So yeah, I could just see this one walking through the woods on a nice summer's day, dressed like this, absolutely gorgeous. This is Evianne, and again she's one of the larger pieces with this lovely red hair. I'm noticing a lot of the dolls are very striking with this beautiful red hair, but I'm loving her too. So she's very unusual, and I know for some of the collectors who love character dolls, then this one would be a great option for the collection. It really is just fabulous. Loving this Liberty print here too, just gives that nice added feature. Loving her. Oh, it's so exciting when we receive collections like this. They are very few and far between, but it really is just something else when we can get our hands on a lovely collection. Loving this girl too. Again, one of the larger pieces. She is only a 75 piece edition. She's called Mettemarlies, and she was made in 2011. It's just here on a little gold certificate. She has her own teddy bear. Now, I remember the teddy bears coming out a little bit later from when the company first started, and she introduced a range of very quirky looking teddies, and we did stock them at the time, and they were also very popular. And this little girl, she actually has her own teddy bear as part of the package, but this is like a silk fabric that's all beautifully embroidered with this very lovely wool trimmed jacket here. She's got a lot of lovely freckles and just this very natural hairstyle. So there's nothing fancy, just very natural in her presentation. I mean, she's probably a little bit fancier than some of the other ones we've looked at. She's even got sequins that are attached to her tights there, along with these great fur trimmed little suede boots. But again, she's a larger piece, got very definite features there, even her profile and the lips and everything. Lovely. I love dolls when they've got the real hair, because you're not afraid then, if you want to restyle it, brush it, curl it, whatever you love to do with your dolls, these ones are no problem at all. They're all beautifully hand wefted wigs, so really gorgeous. All the clothes are fully removable as well. I mean, I think the style of these dolls, they do suit the outfits that have been designed for them, as I do think it's a really great complete package. But if you did want to redress them in different outfits, then that's really not a problem either. Oh my goodness, this is just getting so exciting. Now another one here with teeth. So again, she works really great. Now this one is called Helma, and she was also just a 50-piece edition of Helma. Now she's wearing a badge here that says K Poppen Italia. Now I know Helma from K's Poppen Italia. She's a wonderful lady that has the most magnificent store in the Netherlands, and she's a big dealer of retired Himstedts and also Zwergnase dolls and some other great artist pieces. And this doll clearly was made to represent her at this time, but I think they've done a lovely job. So they've done Helma here, so she's quite a rare piece. She's a very, very small edition, so this is a real find to have in your collection. And again, beautifully dressed, actually quite a Dutch style, you know, with like the neckerchief and also these lovely floating clothes here. You've got the leather boots. So I can imagine a little Dutch girl would be dressed just like this, really lovely, with the plaits as well. Very beautiful style. So yes, there she is with her own little original badge there. So she is a real find if you're wanting something special for your collection. Something a little extra special here from the collection. I was looking at this one and I was thinking, there's something very different about her face, but I couldn't quite pinpoint it initially. And when I look closer, she has hand-painted eyes, but they're so well done, they look like glass. Check out her eyes. Aren't they beautiful? They are so well done. Look at the detail. I know eye painting is one of the hardest things to paint on any doll. Goodness, what a stunner. Again with this very striking red hair, this long style, beautiful, very natural double layered dress here. Look at her tights and her boots too. But and she's got teeth, but she's just got 2 teeth showing. She definitely looks a little bit older than the other ones that we've looked at, a little bit more mature. She is also just a 50-piece edition. She's coming in from 2004, so this is a real highlight as well to the collection we have here. She's the only one of the dolls that we have received with the painted eyes. I really do love antique dolls with painted eyes for my own collection, and I think that's why I was so drawn to this one too. But isn't she lovely? So she is Leonie, and she is also available at maryshortle.com. Now there's one other one that I want to show you, and she represents quite a bit older child, but I think she's truly breathtaking. And she will definitely be a model when she's older. Look at this one. Now she is probably the largest I have in this collection, but I'm loving this face. It is so striking, and the way, again, the sculpt, the mouth being a little bit forward there, and this beautiful profile. She's lovely. I mean, she probably even represents a child, maybe ranging around 10 or 11 years of age. Again, with the 2 front teeth, but just capturing that so true to life expression. She's so photogenic, this one as well. I took some amazing pictures of her in the sunshine the other day, and this gorgeous hair. She reminds me a little bit of like a pre-Raphaelite painting. I could imagine she'd be an amazing muse for one of the famous artists of the past, with this very gorgeous colouring as well. Loving her very much. And she is again a 100-piece edition. She is called Welmoed. I apologize if I'm pronouncing any of these names differently. They are quite unusual, some of them. Again from 2003. So a really varied range of collections here that we have in one from all different years. Loving this one. I don't really know which one I would choose, to be honest. I don't think I could just stop at the one if I was buying these for my own collection, because all of them are so beautiful in different ways. But I have to say, this one should really come home with me because she is my namesake, and this one is called Victoria. Isn't she gorgeous? And she's also in the matching red, so maybe this is destined to be in my collection. But isn't she lovely? She's got a very unusual face. She's quite a long, slender face, as where some of the other ones I find a little bit more heavy jowled, and her features are not quite as pronounced, but I'm loving her. I love her outfit very, very much. She is just a 35-piece edition from 2006, so she's a very, very small edition. And I was even reading where Nicole often does a lot of the painting herself and even making of the clothes, and when her own children go to bed, she loves to sit up and do her creations as part of the team herself. And you can certainly see that. I have to say, I would love a pair of those for myself. Aren't they just magnificent? Full laced up leather boots there. They even have the signature underneath. So these shoes have been created especially for these collections from the artist. So this is Victoria, and I think she's absolutely gorgeous. She's a little blonde, curly haired beauty, and I'm just wondering who she will go to live with, because I don't really know if I've got space for her right now. But I have to say, she's absolutely gorgeous. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different having something as unusual as this to showcase with you, and all of them are just extremely breathtaking. So thank you so much for watching, and I'm just hoping that I can share with you some other amazing collections that we've been fortunate to find recently in the next few videos. But for now, enjoy, check them all out at maryshortle.com, and don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. And most of all, thanks so much for watching these videos. Can't wait to meet you very, very soon, and thanks again.